Hi there. It's July 22nd and time for Proverbs 22. Okay. Last couple of chapters of Solomon's actual written Proverbs. They're all Solomon's Proverbs, but 25 on is somebody else compiling them for him, right? So, words of the wise. First one. A good name is to be chosen over great wealth. Favor is better than silver or gold, right? Reputation. Okay. If you're known as a kind, generous person, right? That is to be chosen over great wealth. Okay. Loving favor is above silver and gold. There's a note over here. Which cometh by well doing. Right. Good stuff. 2, the rich and the poor have this in common. The Lord made them both. Right. They came in the same, they'll go out the same, right? These notes on here. All. The Lord made them all. The rich and the poor meet together. The Lord is the maker of them all. Okay, 3. A sensible person sees danger and takes cover, but the inexperienced keep going and are punished. Right? And if you see one of these protests, what do? Oh, let's run over there and see what's going on. No, right? You take cover. Just get away from it. The result of humility is fear of the Lord, along with wealth, honor, and life, right? Being humble, the result of being humble, right? Not prideful, the opposite of prideful and arrogance, is fear of the Lord, along with wealth, honor, and life. Got that? The reward of humility and fear of the Lord. It says right here. It says the result of humility is fear of the Lord. 1599 there, that the reward of humility and fear of the Lord is riches, glory, and life. Right. Being humble. God likes humble. Okay. 5, there are thorns and snares on the path of the crooked. The one who guards himself stays far from them, right? Stay off that path, okay? Just stay off that path. 6, teach youth about the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. This is a very famous verse that's been used a lot. You pray for your children, and they stray for, if you pray for them, you take them to church when they're young, and I did that, took my kids to church when they're young, okay? And later in life, my oldest kids are in their 40s now. Wow, 40s. And they came back, okay? They came back to church, okay? They spent years in the middle, away, right? Trying to do their own thing, but in the end, they come back, okay? Teach a youth about the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. Doesn't say when he's a teenager, because when he's a teenager, he will depart from it, right? But when he is old, he will not depart from it. Right? 7, the rich rule over the poor, and the borrower is slave to the lender. This is the way the entire world runs now, right? The rich rule over the poor, and the borrower is slave to the lender. We're all slaves, okay? And they did it that way on purpose, okay? It didn't used to be, 150 years ago, you owned your house, you owned your property, okay? You made your own power, okay? You didn't have electric bills and water bills and mortgages and credit card bills, and right? If you have any kind of debt, okay, you are a slave to the lender. Okay? That's the way it is. 8, the one who sows injustice will reap disaster, and the rod of his fury will be destroyed. Right? The rod of his anger shall fail. His authority whereby he did oppress others shall be taken from him. Right? There are people who sow injustice, right? Gang leaders and right? 9, a generous person will be blessed, for he shares his food with the poor. says over here, he that hath a good eye, he that is merciful and liberal. In 1599, liberal meant something totally different than it does now. Okay, liberal meant generous, giving, but not anymore. All right. Generous person will be blessed, for he shares his food with the poor. Right? You share your food with the poor. If you do, God will give you back more than you gave every time, every single time. 10, drive out a mocker and conflict goes too. The quarreling and dishonor will cease. All right, the loudmouth, a mocker. All right, scorner, it says over here. That's why the police, when they go to round up, they always look for the ringleader, okay? The one standing on the box with the megaphone, shouting instructions to everybody else, mocking everything. They take him down, and then it usually breaks up, right? 11, the one who loves a pure heart and gracious lips, the king is his friend. Yeah. Loves a pure heart and gracious lips. Note over here, the king. He showeth that princes should use their familiarity, whose conscience is good and their talk wise and godly. That's interesting. Pure heart and gracious lips. Well, like people like that, right? You want to be a person like that. Pure heart and gracious lips. Say only kind things, right? Say that all the time. 12, the Lord's eyes keep watch over knowledge, but he overthrows the words of the treacherous. Lies always have a habit of catching up to the person telling them, right? The slacker says, there's a lion outside, I'll be killed in the public square. Slackers, lazy people, any excuse will do. And he says this 5-6 times. Hezekiah's man says it again in the latter chapters, right? Anything, any excuse will do. 14, the mouth of the forbidden woman is a deep pit. A man cursed by the Lord will fall into it. The mouth of the forbidden woman. This strange woman over here. So God punisheth the one sin by another when they suffereth the wicked to fall into the acquaintance of a harlot. 15, foolishness is tangled up in the heart of a youth. The rod of discipline will drive it away from him. Right. Discipline your children while they are young. Includes an occasional swat. Okay. That's fear of the parents, right? You should have fear of your parents and respect. And fear of, when a child has fear of his parents, it's very similar to fear of the Lord, okay? They're not afraid of you. They're not afraid you're going to hurt them. They're afraid of disappointing you. They're afraid of being bad, right? That's how fear of the Lord should be, okay? You should be afraid to disappoint him. Okay? Does God discipline people? Yes, he does. 16, oppressing the poor to enrich oneself and giving to the rich. Both lead only to poverty. Shall come to poverty, right? There are people, I mean, you go to any of these very, very poor neighborhoods like inner cities and stuff, you will find people oppressing the poor, right? And giving to the rich. Okay? Both lead to poverty. Okay, words of the wise. Okay, now this is the beginning of 30 sayings that will cover 3 chapters, okay? And they're already separated, okay? And these sayings, you do this every month, these sayings you are supposed to memorize, okay? And keep them ready on your lips, know them at all times, okay? And if you read them enough, it'll become just common sense within you. It's not like you can quote every single one chapter and verse, but you just know this stuff, okay? Starts at 17. Listen closely, pay attention to the words of the wise, and apply your mind to my knowledge. For it is pleasing if you keep them within you, and if they are constantly on your lips. Okay, constantly on your lips. Okay. I have instructed you today, even you, so that your confidence may be in the Lord. Haven't I written for you 30 sayings about counsel and knowledge, in order to teach you true and reliable words, so that you may give a dependable report to those who sent you? Okay. If you're going to really concentrate on anything in Proverbs, should be this 22, 23, 24. Okay. Let's begin. Like I say, these are just 30. It covers 5 today. So. Don't rob a poor man because he is poor, and don't crush the oppressed at the gate, for the Lord will take up their case and will plunder those who plunder them. Right? Be kind to the poor. God will be their lawyer, right? Or their judge against you. Right? Number 2, don't make friends with an angry man, and don't be a companion of a hot-tempered man, or you will learn his ways and entangle yourself in a snare. Okay? That's a tough one. I mean, we all get angry sometimes. Jesus got angry, righteous anger. Right? You're not supposed to never get angry, but some people are angry all the time. Okay? You see old men going around with a permanent scowl on their face, right? And their mom probably told them their kids, if you keep making that face, it's going to freeze that way, and it did. Okay, so they're just mean and ornery, and just you don't want to be around them. Okay, hang around them too long, and you'll be just like that. Okay, number 3. Don't be one of those who enter into agreements, who put up security for loans. If you have no money to pay, even your bed will be taken from under you. Co-sign, okay? Now, we've already read this at least 3 or 4 times, okay? Do not co-sign for somebody's loan, okay? That makes you a slave to a lender that has nothing to do with you. Okay. Number 4, don't move an ancient boundary marker that your father set up. Okay? Encroachment still happens today. And the 5th one, do you see a man skilled in his work? He will stand before the presence of kings. He will not stand in the presence of unknown men. Right. Right. You know, the people that are really talented and really good at what they do, and they stand out and people see them and they get noticed. Right? So there you go. That's chapter 22 in the beginning of the 30 sayings, words of the wise. Let's go over our other highlights. 3 is highlighted. A sensible person sees danger and takes cover, but the inexperienced keep going and are punished. Right? If you see danger, you take cover, get away. Don't go over there and join the crowd. See what's going on. 4 is highlighted. The result of humility, humbleness, is fear of the Lord, along with wealth, honor, and life. Right? If you fear the Lord, follow the Lord, and are humble, you will have everything you need. Okay? Right? Riches and glory and life. It's that simple. Be humble, fear the Lord. Say only kind things. Okay? 6, teach a youth about the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. Right? Teach your kids young. Take them to church. Pray with them. Read them the Bible. Right? Find Bible stories that written in a way a child could understand it. Okay? I mean, you can't read to your 6-year-old from the King James and expect them to understand what you're talking about. Okay? You have to get on their level. Teach them about humility, fear of the Lord, and the benefits. Right? And when they were old, they'll come back to it. Even if they stray away, when they're old, they will come back to it. Right? 7, the rich rule over the poor, and the borrower is slave to the lender. Okay? Most of us are slaves. There are a few people who are completely debt-free. Right? But it's hard to be completely debt-free. They've set it up that way on purpose, okay? Satan rules the world, and he makes sure he rules over everybody, okay? You can be debt-free. You can have your mortgage paid off and your and all your credit cards paid off. You still have an electric bill, all right? You still have a water bill. You still got to pay taxes, okay? And if you don't do that stuff, they're going to take it away from you, okay? In this world, you are a slave. Okay. 9 is highlighted. A generous person will be blessed, for he shares his food with the poor. Right? Good of eye. Right? Good of eye. He that is merciful and generous. Right? You want to be blessed, share what you have with the poor. Okay? Be blessed beyond measure. Right? 15. Foolishness is tangled up in the heart of a youth. The rod of discipline will drive it away from them. Right? The rod of correction. He is naturally given to foolishness. Okay? Youths, says it good over here. Youths are naturally given to foolishness. Okay? They have to learn to be good. They have to learn to do the right thing. Right? They are born sinners. It's just true. Okay, and then we're the 30 wise sayings. We covered the first 5 today. Okay. And it's important. It is pleasing if you keep them within you, and if they are constantly on your lips. It's rated over here. For it shall be pleasant if thou keep them in thy belly, and if they be directed together in thy lips. Right. That thy confidence may be in the Lord, I have shown thee this day. Right. Constantly on your lips. You're supposed to just know this stuff. Okay, it said there, have it in your belly, so they're always there. Okay, 30 sayings. All right. Don't rob a poor man because he is poor. Don't crush the oppressed at the gate. The Lord will, right, go to bat for them. Okay. Don't make friends with an angry man. With a master of anger. He have not to do with him that is not able to rule his affections, for he would hurt thee by his evil conversation. Right? I mean, you see people that are just angry, screaming all the time. You never see them smile. I don't hang around those people. You're going to learn that kind of language. Okay? Don't be one of those who enters into agreement and puts up security for loans. If you have no money to pay, even your bed will be taken from under you. Right? Now, he says this in almost every other chapter, okay? Do not co-sign for somebody else's loan. Do not take on that responsibility. Okay? And there are caveats. He said, he says, if you do, get a collateral. Okay? Get a collateral so you won't lose your money. Hmm? The fourth one, don't move an ancient boundary marker that your father set up. Right? There was a time when people were given land. This is your land. You cultivate it. You work it. You eat from it. They don't do that now. Be nice if they did, huh? And the fifth one, do you see a man skilled in his work? He will stand in the presence of kings. He will not stand in the presence of unknown men. Right? Somebody who's really talented and really good at what they do, they stand up. They do. So there you go. That's Proverbs 22 in the beginning, the first 5 of the 30 sayings you need to memorize, okay? And tomorrow, it's all sayings you need to see. The whole chapter tomorrow is highlighted because stuff you need to just know, right? So, there you go. That was interesting, huh? Good stuff. Say tonight today, we're in the book of Acts. Paul is in trouble, okay? We're on day 203, I believe. So give us a like if you think about it. And tomorrow we'll continue. See you next time.